What number title is this for you?
Number 9.
How does this one feel?
I mean, they're all the same. I mean, they're just an incredible feeling. I'm just so happy for the team. Like I mentioned to John Anderson earlier, I took a little bit of offense to the fact that people thought we were a one-man band, and we're not. And I'm just so proud and happy for the rest of the guys that showed up and helped us win this title.
And you're right. You proved you weren't a one-man band at all. That's definitely true. But Grant Holloway had a fabulous meet.
Absolutely
Discuss his performance.
Grant was phenomenal. I think the biggest thing was him. I really challenged him to stay focused. You're going from 3 different entities: long jump, hurdles, 60. He did a phenomenal job in all 3 this weekend. And my proudest moment of him this weekend was when he came back from the long jump, and he never asked me to go back out there because he knew he had work to do in the other events. He said, we're going to run. We took that forward at 26-1, and we just sat on it. And he said to me, when he got pushed to 30, he goes, I'm not worried. I know my boys got me, meaning his teammates. So.
7:35 American record. You said earlier your goal with him was to make him the best hurdler in the world. How far off is he?
He's getting there. He's getting closer. We still got some work to do. We can't, it's indoors, and indoors is not really an indicator totally what we can do outdoors, but we got to find a way to take this performance and take it to the outdoor season. I think the biggest thing for him right now is that he has to, we got to kind of retool and get back to a situation where we get back to training because we got 5 more hurdles to get ready for.
You guys had won the title before the 4x4. Any thoughts of, Grant, you've done enough?
No, I mean, I think, I felt it would be disrespectful not to run the 4x4. I mean, we had so many teams that wanted to be here. I didn't want to scratch it and say not run it. And I think, the 4x4 is good for Grant. It's going to help him outdoors. And he hadn't run one since the Razorback meet. It's been a month. So, honestly, I'll be honest with you, that was a train to run for him.
Does he divide his practice time between the events?
It just depends on the day. Some days we're strictly hurdles. There's other days where, he does long jump and endurance. And then other days where, he just does pure speed. So it just depends on the day of the week. I sit down and I just very carefully plan out all phases of his training, and I give him to Coach Peterson a couple of times a week to work on long jump stuff.
So 55 points. I mean, do you ever come into these meets with a target in mind or an expectation of how many?
I think that if you're going to win these things, you have to have an idea what's going on. And I think for me, I felt like if we get to 50, we'd be okay. And so obviously we had 49 before the 4x4. That was my goal, to get to 49 or 50 before the 4x4. We did that, but again, I felt like we needed to run the 4x4 out of respect, for the other institutions in this country, and also out of respect for Houston and Texas A&M. They're great schools. We're going to see them outdoors. We can't duck them, so we need to be able to go out and run.
Why is Hakeem Sonny Brown a totally different athlete this year compared to last?
Well, Hakeem just turned 20 on Wednesday, because he's 20 years in like 3 days now. And I think when he came to me, he was 18 years old. He was a little fragile, a little dinged up, and I said, let him grow up. I mean, it would have been unfair for me to rush him into doing the things that he's capable of doing. I promised his mom that I was going to be patient with him. The goal is for Hakeem to be ready at 19, and obviously be ready at 20 because the Olympic Games are in his backyard. So it wasn't about the University of Florida totally. It had to be about Hakeem and his career.
And did you have to help him? I mean, obviously you helped him, but what did you have to do to help him adjust to moving from Tokyo to Gainesville, Florida?
He's got great teammates. They brought him into the fold and helped him grow up. He's gotten better and better each week.
Going forward to outdoors, what do you look for? Obviously adding events, but what do you need to do to win a title out?
I don't know. I mean, I think that you got teams outdoors. Houston's going to be good outdoors. Texas Tech's going to be good outdoors. Arkansas is always going to be. Texas A&M had a bad meet. Anybody that knows Pat Henry knows that he will go back and he will find a way to get better, because that's who Pat Henry is. Arguably the greatest combination track coach, men and women's in the history of the sport. So I'm not really concerned about right now. My big goal when I get back is to sit down, start figuring out who I can get to the national meet for the Gators, and then we'll figure out what we can do once we get there.
You said you got upset, when some people, maybe myself even included, were referring to your team as a one-man show. Why does that make you so upset?
Well, I took it as an offense because we're not a one-man show. I mean, you got a guy like Hakeem that runs 6. I knew 6'5" was coming. Ryan Clark had run 6.62 and he run 20.60. You got a 53-foot triple jumper. You got a 76-foot weight thrower, another 74-footer. We had 46 low quarter milers. That's not a one-man band. Now, are they at the level of Grant? No, they're not. But that's why we were able to win, because Grant couldn't win this meet by himself. It's not possible.
Grant's big remaining goal, obviously, the team is the big focus, but is that sub-13? Is he going to be ready by June?
That's the plan. I mean, unless I mess him up somehow, he'll be ready.
How did recruiting Hakeem come about? Because before he got to you guys, he was already a World Championship finalist.
We recruited him before he was a World Championship finalist. I don't remember exactly how it happened. We had talked to him a little bit, and then he kind of cooled off, and then all of a sudden it got hot again, and then he came to visit, and he was sitting at my house, and we kind of jokingly, I always ask him what kind of a car would he like to have if he could have any car he wanted. He said he'd take a Bugatti. So I told him, I said, so you're going to be my Bugatti. And just before the visit was over, he goes, you have a new Bugatti. And I was like shocked, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah. But was it difficult to convince him to come halfway across the world to attend an American college? You don't see a lot of
No, I mean,
Japanese athletes do
his
that.
mother and the people that were around him, they were trying to help him. Education's big for him. His mother's big thing was she wanted him to experience a different culture, learn a new language, learn a new culture, and, have a life after track and field. So that's what was important for him.
What about the growth of Ryan Clark? We kind of expected, coming off his high school career, it'd come a little bit faster than him.
Ryan will be the first one to tell you he hasn't managed his diet very well over the first 3 years. He's doing that better now, and we're starting to see the sprinter he can be. And I'm excited for him because he's always been a better outdoor guy. So I'm really excited to see what happens when he gets outdoors.
Mike, how invaluable and unsung heroes McFarland and Mardal been, and what you guys have been able to do?
Like those are the guys, McFarland, Mardal, Clayton Brown, Johnny Victor. Johnny Victor makes a meet. You put him down for a point. That's what he does. He figures out a way to get it done. And those are the guys that put us over the top. I always tell them it's not the superstars that win the meet. It's the 6th and 7th and 8th place guys. And we came in, I think, ranked 4th and 6th, and we got 4th and 7th in the weight. We just performed the form chart. We knew Clayton Brown was ready to go big. He's had some back issues, but he went out there and got us 4 points. And we knew after that triple jump the meet was over.
Did you have a different emotion because I saw you over there and congratulated you that it didn't come down to the 4x4, that you could just kind of watch and smile?
Yeah, that was fun to be able to just watch the 4x4 and not have to worry about whether we dropped the baton or anything like that. And I think the big thing with the 4x4, like I said earlier, I just thought it would be disrespectful for us to scratch them and not run it because there's so many teams that would have liked to have been.
Mike,